Good afternoon. It's November 10th, 2022, and a spike in channel today. There's probably a bigger one here. Um, this one looks like it could be accurate. The way I drew it just now, that could definitely be it. I'll just leave it there. But yeah, spike in channel. Um, I don't know what this red line is, but there's a news item there. So in the overnight, um, prices were just ranging, and prices were holding on this midline from midnight until 4:45. So I saw this second entry on the MES, and I took this second entry. It's not it's not a high probability setup, but it's one you might consider because it is a second entry, and it bounces off that key entry point. I mean, you can see we broke below the midline here, but it quickly failed. So anyway, we get this news item, whatever that was, and that forms a spike in channel. Originally, I had the spike in channel drawn off this stem and this stem. Put it like that, see if that, yeah, there we go. And so this second entry, unfortunately, you don't get a signal bar. When it's that strong, maybe you take this. And you get a higher low right there, but again, it's not a good signal bar. That actually this one looks better than this one. Because this kind of looks like a one leg. So maybe you take those. But when you get this failure, nice signal bar, I think you take that. And then this, maybe you look at this as a second entry, but this looks like it made a new high. But when you get that double test, that is a second entry long. It's a double test and a second entry long. You got to take that. And we get a break, and then we move into this yellow channel. And that's a pretty strong move. So if you recognize it, maybe you take this one as a failure, but you're going into the highs. And maybe you take these good signal bars off the trend channel, but I don't really like doing that unless it's like the more dojis. Like this one, this is a range. So then we make this move down, but this trend channel, that's hard to find. I mean, if you draw it off the lows and then bring it up to this high, it still wouldn't help you, which is that's what I did, but doesn't help you. Like this, yeah, I guess you could say it helps you here. This is a second entry, but in real time, you might have it drawn like that. Actually, yeah, you probably would have it drawn like that. So yeah, maybe you take that, maybe you don't. Bias is up, so I wouldn't be taking that. Then you get a first entry, failed second entry short. I like this one. It's just because the bias is so heavily up, you know, and we're probably going to test this opening price. That's not always the case, but given the context of the bias being up, we just had this break, move to a new low, first entry, failed second entry. I like that. And we get a break of this uptrend, whoops, and you get a first entry, second entry long, but it's below the EMA, so I'm not crazy about it, but you can see a lot of people liked it. And they take that, and then we're just chopping sideways. I'm not going to take this. It's a double test, but you can see all these inside bars. I'm not going to take a short right here on the failed second entry long. Feels too early. I mean, you do get after this move up, you get a break in 2 legs up. So I mean, but not for me, not for me. So we break out, it fails temporarily, then it goes a little lower. That's probably 2 measured legs. Yeah, you can see that. That's 2 measured legs right there. It bounces. It could be a measure move of the range too. Yes, it is. So market geometry. It bounces. First entry, failed second entry. I would expect it to test the midline of this range. So you got room for a scalp there. Comes up here, breaks, move to a new high, chopping around a little bit. Come down here. First entry, failed second entry. Only reason I marked this is because of this signal bar. Maybe you drop a limit order after you get this good signal bar and it ticks higher. Maybe drop a limit order, but otherwise, not really a good setup. This is a second entry long off the trend channel. I like that one. It is going into the highs though, but it's second entry. And yeah, it's off the key entry point. Slight overshoot, then we get a new high, break, couple legs to a new high, and then you get a first entry, failed second entry long. And at this point, you know, maybe you try that. I don't know. I marked it green because it's counter trend. But that looks like a failure to me. And who knows if this is the channel. I mean, you probably have it drawn like this, and yeah, I had it drawn like that. That's why I extended it. But then you get that overshoot, couple legs down, and we come down to what is now, we know, is the trend channel. And then we get this 2-tiered channel up. You got a first entry, second entry. This stuff is too congestive. We make this new high, first entry, second entry. Oof. So if you had happened to have this trend channel, this is blue. But in real time, being able to see that, that's tough. Plus, it doesn't make a new low. But this one, I'd say you take this one. That's the failure. First entry, failed second entry, short. So take those. We keep riding this up, but it forms congestion. We get a break. And this is just the range here. So you get this failure. That's also a second entry long. But look how sideways this is. So it's clear it's a range. Very clear. We keep going higher. This is a pretty strong move up. You can see though, goes up, goes sideways, goes up, goes sideways. So maybe you take this one. It's a double test. This one's a second entry. Maybe you take that. But that's getting close to the close. So really, you want to be flat. So that's how I saw the day. Yeah, I'm not sure why these red lines pop up, but okay. So I hope everyone has a good day. I'll be back tomorrow.